Hello, my name is Megan Searing Young, and I'm the director of the Greenbelt Museum right here in Greenbelt, Maryland. Welcome to Women's History Month.
Policarpa Salavarrieta, known as La Pola, was a Colombian seamstress who served as an important figure during the Revolution for Colombian independence. She became the official seamstress to the Spanish royals, and in that capacity was able to spy for the revolutionary forces. She provided key information on strategies, numbers, and weapons, and also recruited many young men to the revolutionary effort. When two men were caught with papers containing information that incriminated her, the Spanish sentenced her to death. She was told to ask forgiveness, but instead cursed the Spanish regime's oppression. Her last words being, "Although I am a woman and young, I have more than enough courage to suffer this death and 1,000 more." Her heroic actions are commemorated by the Day of the Colombian Woman on the anniversary of her death, as well as on postage stamps and currency. Tetu Beytul was an Ethiopian empress who founded capital city Addis Ababa and was integral in stopping the Italians from colonizing Ethiopia. She wielded significant political power and held a hard line against the Italians, even ripping up the treaty where the Italian version turned Ethiopia into their protectorate. Italy invaded the Ethiopian Empire through their Eritrean colonies, so she marched with the emperor and the imperial army to stop them. She commanded a battalion of cannoneers at the Battle of Adwa, which resulted in a humiliating defeat for Italy in 1896. She began making decisions on behalf of her husband as his health declined, but eventually was banished by her husband's successor. Harriet Chalmers Adams was an American explorer who traveled extensively and published her photos and accounts in National Geographic. She was especially fond of Latin America and became the first woman to travel by land from the Amazon to French Guiana, as well as the first to climb the volcanic El Misti in Peru. In Europe, she served as a correspondent for Harper's Magazine during World War I and was the only female journalist permitted in the trenches. In 1925, she helped launch the Society of Women Geographers and captivated hundreds of audiences with her tales of adventure. Jingxi was an 18th century Chinese woman who went from being captured by pirates as a prostitute to powerful pirate lord. She agreed to marry the captain of the infamous Red Flag Fleet, under the condition that she would have some power and share equally in his plunder. Side by side, they formed the Cantonese Pirate Coalition with members of other fleets. When her husband died, she took control of their fleet, which included between 50,000 to 70,000 pirates. As pirate lord, she established a strict code where pirates under her command were bound to specific laws and taxes. The punishment for failure to obey was execution. She amassed so much power and wealth during her reign that the Chinese government was forced into negotiations with her. Knowing piracy was not an ideal long-term pursuit, she agreed to negotiations. She convinced the Chinese government to grant full amnesty to herself and any members of her fleet who surrendered. They even agreed to let her keep all of their ill-begotten plunder and provided them with government jobs. She is considered by many to be the most successful pirate of all time. The Night Witches were the all-woman military aviators in the night bomber unit for the Soviet Army during World War II. They were nicknamed by the German soldiers due to their strategy of idling and gliding before releasing a bomb. They likened the wind sound to a witch's broomstick. Women were initially barred from combat roles, but Major Marina Raskova used her position to obtain permission to form female fighter groups. They were received poorly at first, given less respect, hand-me-down uniforms, and rudimentary tools rather than advanced technology. By the end of the war, however, they had flown over 800 missions, including tactical operations to destroy German strongholds and food, supply, and ammunition drops to Soviet forces. They became the most highly decorated female unit, with 23 pilots awarded the Hero of the Soviet Union title. Hedy Lamarr, born in Austria as Hedwig Eva Maria Kiesler, is best known as an actress in films such as Algiers and Samson and Delilah. Though she was promoted by studios as the world's most beautiful woman, she had much more to offer than beauty alone. She co-founded her own production company and spent her spare time working on inventions, despite no formal training. Her most important invention, co-created with composer George Antheil, was the secret communication system, which used spread spectrum techniques. The intention was to stop radio jamming used by the Axis powers in World War II. She thought of creating a frequency-hopping signal that couldn't be tracked or jammed. Though the military was not receptive to outside inventions at the time, they eventually used the proposed techniques for secure military communications in the 1960s. The invention is also credited as being an important basis for Bluetooth technology as well as early Wi-Fi.
Thanks for watching GATE. To find out more about the Greenbelt Museum, visit greenbeltmuseum.org. See you next time.